Cool. Remind me tomorrow. It's Norway's Norway Day.
Who day?
Norway.
Right.
Oh, I've just started streaming, so I better get moving. Good afternoon, everybody, on streaming. I'm just going. I don't know how that happened. I must have flicked the switch, as it were.
Had a minute to go.
I know we've got a minute to go, so I'll just tell the streaming people that I am here and we're going to get underway in less than a minute. Mind you, I was about a quarter of a minute late yesterday starting, so if I'm a quarter of a minute early today, that will average out. People that like statistics, that would be a very good thing to do. Anyway, greetings. It's been a miserable day here for people doing laundry because it would go out, the rain would come, you'd bring it in, the sun would come out, you'd take it out, the rain would come, and so on and so on. It went today. So there you go. A very good evening, everybody. This is Gulf Harbour Radio, and this is 0515 UTC, so it's time to start the ball rolling again here. It's actually quite a pleasant night at the moment, but you only have to hold your breath a little bit and it turns not very pleasant. It's been like that all day here. 1 minute it's raining, next minute it's sunny, the next minute it's raining, and so on and so forth. At the moment it's 16 degrees, which won't feel very warm for you folk that have managed to get up to much nicer climates. 83% relative humidity, which is kind of high for us. 10 knots from the west-southwest. 1020 on the bar. It's sort of fairly flat all through the country. 90% cloud cover, and as I say, just on and off rain. So while you're all getting settled near the radio and tuning me in, let me tell you about some of the boats that are on passage but without a radio working, or no radio anyway. Not tied down has got Andiamo breathing down their necks. They'll be there in a couple of days to Wunda. Not tied down is at 2 degrees, 16 and 17812 east. 5.3 knots on a course of 020. They're just to the east of Andiamo, who's got a knot on them. 6.3 speed at 349, and at pretty much the same latitude and longitude, 122 and 178 east. I think Hank and Knock-and-Do are a little bit ahead, but they'll all be arriving much the same time, I would imagine. Not such a good conditions for Balance, who are back at 28 degrees 10 and 17850 east. They've only got 2.1 on the clock, 050 course. The wind is just really low there, southeast 5, so I'm sure Al on Sunrise will commiserate with them. Anyway, the front leaders going a bit further east. There is Laura Dawn at Minerva, but Mintaka is heading on by the look of it. Mintaka, Gulf Harbour.
Good evening, Patricia. This is Mintaka. How do you copy, Heather?
A nice copy tonight, Phil. Go ahead.
Oh, we had a lovely day at Minerva today, although we had some boat repairs to do. I was up the mast for a number of times. We've got fractured a spreader, and I think we haven't mediated sufficiently to get us to Tonga. But we're sailing along at 6.5 knots. Our current position is 2326 south, 178.45 west. Our barometer is dropping a little. We're down to 990. We're seeing about 15 knots in a slightly confused seaway at 2 meters. We're sailing a course of 52 degrees true, and our ETA Tonga is Thursday afternoon.
Okay, so boy, you did some aerobatics today trying to fix that fractured spreader. So yep, hope it stays together. You'll be interested in the weather Thursday afternoon. I think that's before the strong winds, but you certainly don't want too much in the way of strong winds, do you? I'll ask David in a minute. 6.5 knots on a course of 052 and at 2326 south, 17845 west. Barometer is starting to drop, 2 metre, a bit confused seas. It's a bit annoying, particularly with the fractured spreader. So I'm just going to see what he's going to come up with for Thursday afternoon and tomorrow.
Well, arrival on Thursday isn't too bad at all.
PM.
Yeah, PM. Thursday, okay, I'll move it a little bit to be technical here. You'll be looking at gusts up to about 25 knots, and they will be pretty much out of the east, maybe east-northeast, coming into that part of Fiji. Stronger wind area to the south. That's Thursday. Let's just see what tomorrow looks like as you're heading there. And hold on, my computer does not like me to do things to it while I'm talking.
So, speak up a bit because it's...
Yeah, well, we've got this little gizmo that I have to talk into it. But unfortunately, when I talk into it, I can't look at my computer. So I would say you'll have to just
speak up.
Bear it. So anyhow, looking at tomorrow on the course that you're at, heading toward Fiji.
Tonga.
Tonga or Fiji? We have a little bit of a discrepancy here.
Tonga.
Hang on.
Tonga. This is Mintaka.
I thought he said Vunda. You straighten that out.
Okay, we have a bit of a discussion going on here. Mintaka, you are going to Tonga, is that correct?
Mintaka, we are sailing to Tonga, correct? We would very much welcome some comment on the weather. We've got the breeze from 90 degrees out of the east this moment, and we're sailing hard on and under staysail and one reef. Over.
Okay, so it's hard on with that wind at the moment. Here's David.
Okay, well, as it turns out, there's not that much difference in what I just said if you were going to Bunda. But since we're not going there, we're going to Tonga. Good 25 knots you're going to see pretty much coming out of the east as you approach Tonga on Thursday. Let's look at back it up a little bit and see what things are looking like on Wednesday. And a little bit lighter tomorrow, although I do see gusts that are getting up to 22, 24, 25 knots. And they will also be out of the east. So not really too bad of a direction. It'll be a close reach, I guess, to get up there from where you are. So that's not too bad. Let's see if we've got any showers in store for the situation. And bear with me. Yeah, it looks like there will be some showers in that area. Not too bad at all, but definitely there could be some areas of squalls, but nothing really serious that I can see. But in those squalls, you're going to get those gusts. They'll be up there in the 24, 25 knot range. But yeah, not too bad really. So good luck with that. Over.
Yeah, thanks so much, David. That's what we're picking up for our predict wind reading as well. So that all confirmed. Thank you very much.
Yep, you're welcome.
Okay, we've got the next couple of boats. Laura Dawn at Minerva, quite half a dozen boats. I think some of them have taken their AIS off to have a rest. But Laura Dawn can tell us what it's like there. It's just a bit further north where Mintaka is. It's actually the GFS was quite in agreement today with what the report was, so that's good news. But it looks a little bit lighter weather at Minerva. Laura Dawn, Gulf Harbour.
Gulf Harbour, this is Laura Dawn. Can you hear me?
Yes, I certainly can, mate. Go ahead.
We have had a fabulous day at South Minerva. We went host to last night as we got here in the early hours of the morning, and then came in first thing this morning. There was only one other boat here, which was Eastway. And over the course of the day, many other boats have turned up, so I think there's about 7 boats here now. And we've got high tide out at the reef with quite a strong tide for any keen swimmers, late or low tide, and we've got a bit of a wind on now that we expect to settle now.
Okay, so what is the wind strength at the moment? I'll tell you actually what it looks like about 15 from the east-southeast. Is that what you've got?
We think it's a good 20s and degrees sort of coming from the east.
Okay, here's David.
All right, yep, that's pretty reasonable from what the other models are saying as well. For all of you that are in Minerva, rather than to repeat myself for each boat that's there, tomorrow you're going to be looking at, I think, easterlies. They'll be between 10 to 17 or 18 knots. On Thursday, it does pick up, but it shifts. So we're looking at northeast winds, about 18, 19 knots, gusts up to maybe 25. And then on Friday, there's definitely going to be a shift. The winds will back, looking at northwest, about maybe 12, 13 knots. Could be gusts up to 30 in rain squalls. The very good news, though, is on Saturday, the wind really backs. It comes out of the west and it lightens considerably. So I would say Saturday would be the day to make your break for Fiji or Vanuatu, or even if you decide to change your mind altogether and go to New Caledonia. But that wouldn't be so good to New Caledonia westerlies. But anyway, Vanuatu and certainly Fiji westerlies. So not bad at all. Fairly light air, and all of that is Saturday. Tonga, Patricia was asking me, that is going to be fine as well. Westerly winds from Minerva to Tonga, obviously, that's going to be a good direction as well. So there'll be no problem there either. So it's just a matter of waiting a couple of days, as we talked about this week, and hopefully, with the stronger winds, it might not be all that pleasant for snorkeling and whatnot, but very low tide, you might be able to get onto the reef and hunt for some of those crayfish and whatnot. So hopefully it won't be too bad. But then conditions, like I said, improve considerably on Saturday as that new high enters the Tasman, and in fact for the boats that are still in New Zealand, Saturday, probably Sunday might even be a better day, but around that Sunday time frame, that looks like it would be the start of a window to get up to the islands. So that's the story for Minerva as I see it at the moment.
Thank you for that, Ed. Just to let everyone know, the crayfish are great. You can pick them up off the beach.
Oh, that does sound good. Well, we had fish that we had caught at, I don't know where we caught it, but anyway, it was from the freezer, but never mind, no crayfish. But actually, David's getting organised to do some crayfish looking next season. So I guess most of those Minerva boats are going to be, especially at South Minerva, into the crayfish. I don't know where Maori is. I think North Minerva. Maori, Gulf Harbour. They might be out catching crayfish. All right, well, which way is getting quite close to Tonga? I'll be talking to them later on 8297, currently at about 23 and 176 west. But I can't find Cabana, and I suspect that George might have gone into Minerva. Cabana, Gulf Harbour.
Yes, we did go into Minerva, but we've now left. I'll give you my position. South 23 degrees 23 minutes by west 178 degrees 59 now. You copy that?
Yeah, well, I should have just looked up and see you back. The trouble is, there's the other cabana there, so it's a bit confusing. Okay, we have this cabana at 2323 south and 17859 west. Go ahead with conditions.
Yes, that's correct. We weren't going to go into Minerva. The timing was just right, and we passed now friends coming out of the pass about 7:30. A couple of team hunter-gatherers got about 4 places today, so we had a great lunch, and then left at 3:30, so it was a short and very pleasant day.
Well, it's book crayfish, they are getting a workout, aren't they? So what are the conditions like at the moment out there, over?
Yeah, well, we've got the same, the wind's built a bit for us there, so it's probably about 19 knots through east, heading east-south-east. The winds are not nicer than they were yesterday, you know, at 1 or 2 metres well from the south-east. But really, much more pleasant sailing than we had yesterday. At least it's dry.
Yeah, it's a bit of a pain in the neck if the rain's coming down. We really appreciate. We put on a hard top and it makes it very, very comfortable. But if you're getting wet at the helm, it's a pain in the neck. Okay, so 19 having left Minerva, and I'm assuming north at 3:30. 19 knots from the east-southeast, so that sort of ties in with what we heard from Laura Dawn, and 1 to 2 metres swell southeast, much more pleasant than yesterday with the lack of rain. Have you got anything further to add? Because you pretty much covered that, haven't you?
No, for Minerva.
No, there's nothing much more from him. So well, you're pretty much on target for getting the crew to Savu Savu, over.
Yeah, we're hoping to be in at Savu Savu either Friday morning at the latest, but we have a good one late Thursday night.
Yep, no, that would be good. Well, the lights will be on, I'm sure, when you get there in that new bar. All right, clear with you.
One correction.
One correction that David's got.
Yeah, that Friday wind that I talked about, northwest. I don't know why I said northwest, but it isn't going to be northwest at Minerva. On Friday, I'm looking at about breakfast time, gusting up to maybe 20, 22 knots like that. But
for what
east,
direction?
Northeast.
East.
It looks like east, northeast. So, yeah, that's not going to be too bad. And then I just want to double check on Saturday, where we talked about westerly winds, and you know, the models have just decided to do some changing on me as I'm talking right now. And those westerly winds that I talked about on Saturday do not look like westerlies at this point. I see gusts actually out of the northeast, and yeah, so I apologize about that, but I think that those west winds for departure to Fiji do not look that good at all. I'm going to take a look at Sunday and see what happens there. And things do lighten very, very quickly on Sunday. I'm looking at the early morning on Sunday. The winds drop off to 8, 10 knots like that in the Minerva area. So yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll talk again tomorrow. I don't like it when the models shift like that, but we'll see. So we'll talk to you again tomorrow. Here's Chief.
I was getting very annoyed with the change in the significant change in the models there. Anyway, let's check in on Namaji 3. Namaji 3 on their way to Vunda. Nothing heard from Namaji 3 and Scoots.
Yeah, Golf Harbour Radio. Scoot, our copy.
Oh, very good copy. Daryl, you probably got dragged away from eating some of that fish you caught yesterday, over?
Yeah, the Scout Record was just the right size to fill the available space in the freezer, over.
Yeah, it is a problem when you get them on the northward trip, but I bet it was appreciated. Okay, it looks like you've had a bit of a slow day. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, we've had lovely day sailed the whole day. We're currently at 26 degrees, 46 minutes south, 179 degrees, 37 minutes west. We have southeast of 15 knots. We're travelling at 7 knots with a course towards Minerva. Over.
Okay, well, I'm sure those at Minerva will leave some crayfish for you. 2646 and 17937 west with southeast 15 and trotting on the course to Minerva at 7 knots speed. So, yeah, it does sound a rather pleasant day. When I looked earlier on, it looked a little bit on the slow side, but that's, boy, you can't complain about those conditions, over.
It's been a lovely day, and we've been focusing our intake to that with full main, so it's been just tripping along, and it's a sweet day.
Yeah, sounds really nice. Yeah, it's nice to get everything flying, isn't it? Okay, well, we'll clear with you and go way down a little bit before I hit the ones going to Noumea and New Caledonia. Sunrise, Gulf Harbour.
Golf Harbour Radio, this is Sunrise, over.
Yep, good copy again, Al. Go ahead.
Yeah, we're at 29 degrees, 46 minutes, and 179 degrees east. We're on a direct course now to Minerva, which is a course of 014 true. We've had reasonably light winds today, and up the motor sail at about 4.5 knots. Over.
Yeah, boy, it's a little bit frustrating for you, isn't it, those light winds down there? 2946 17933 east on a direct course to Minerva, motor sailing on a course of 014 true at 4.5 knots. So, did you want anything? Yes, he does.
Whoops, I just dropped the microphone here. And I want to go back to the Minerva boats again. Maybe some of you computer people could explain things to me, but as I was talking to you about Saturday, for all of you boats that are in the Minerva Reef area or will be on Saturday, and we talked about departure on Saturday to basically Fiji, or if you're going to Tonga as well. I'm going to reverse everything that I've said, and the winds do in fact look like they're going to be westerly quadrant, fairly light. There is going to be some showers. There are trough bands that are running through there. The main trough band actually runs north-south, but it basically goes up and down about 175 west, north and south, in other words, and it runs all the way from Tonga south all the way to about 35 south, which isn't going to affect any of you at Minerva at all. But anyhow, the point being is that yes, you will have favorable winds to go to Fiji, and that will be on Saturday. I'm looking at about the lunchtime frame, maybe 11, 12 o'clock, that type of thing. Very weird thing happens to my computer, and when I was talking to you before, as I was scrolling through this, unfortunately, when I do talk and I start to shift to different parts of the model that I want to look at, it doesn't really register where I'm putting the cursor. And as Patricia was talking, I started to move it around, and lo and behold, it was back to what I told you in the very beginning. So the real thing that I found out here is that I cannot be talking to you at the same time that I'm moving the cursor. For some reason, this computer just does not like that. So I really apologize about that. That's not good. But, so to repeat everything again, on Saturday, for those of you in Minerva, from what I can see at this point, winds should be favorable to head to Fiji at that point, fairly light air. However, there will be trough lines between there and Fiji. Nothing very serious. The really bad trough, actually, it's a frontal band. Again, that runs north-south along about 175 west, and it's not going to affect really any of you that are going to Fiji at that point. So anyway, there we go. So I learned something here on my silly computer, and we'll talk again tomorrow for those of you that are in Minerva, and I'll try to get all this done before I start talking to you. So here's the chief.
Okay, where were we here? I think we have finished there with Scoots, and I think I'll go to Perigi Gulf Harbour. Okay, nothing heard from Perigi or Innoset. Oh no, we haven't got to it was Namaji 3 that I couldn't get. Okay, we're going to change course now to go to the more western boats. Innocenti, Gulf Harbour.
Clear, Patricia, how are them?
Oh, very good. Angus, go ahead, over.
We're at 2540 south, 16759 east. We're steering a course of 3342, and we've been sailing in quite pleasant sort of 1822 east to southeast. Breeze at about 7 knots all day, over.
Well, I bet that's been very pleasant. So, Innocenti on the way to Numia, 2540, 16759 east. Doing 7 knots pretty much all day with the 18 to 22 knots east-southeast and 334 true course. Oh, sounds very pleasant. There's a few, well, not as many as going to Fiji, of course, but there's quite a few around, and I've heard today that Harlequin is going to Numia too, so we'll pick them up shortly. So there'll be a few of you, over.
Thanks for that, Patricia. Yeah, no, look, we're coming in reasonably quickly on the path, so tomorrow night we'll be nibbling our nails a little bit. Hopefully we won't end up coming in the dark, but never mind, we'll talk to you tomorrow night.
Yeah, roger that, but if you're coming through Amity, it's pretty lots of space and pretty good. Is that the one you're going to head for, over?
Yeah, I've been in Amity a few times. Particularly Dumbair off the road, that's just a bit straighter and fully lit all the way through. But anyway, we'll make up our mind. We've still got a couple of hundred to run, so we'll wait and see what it looks like when we get up there.
Yeah, what are the sea conditions like at the moment?
Yeah, it's fairly lumpy. Bit of a crop, getting a little bit of a sort of, 2 to 3 metre lump running. And the odd sort of squall up into the high 20s, but all together pretty pleasant sailing out.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, those seas always are a bit lumpy around there. It's it's not so bad when you're coming your direction now, but it's when you've been in the lagoon for a few months and you come out and meet them and oh god. So at least you've got something good to look forward to. Alrighty, we'll clear with Innocenti and see if I can find Harlequin. Nothing heard from Harlequin, and what about, let's go to Venture Lady.
Gulf Harbour Radio, this is Venture Lady. Copy?
Nice copy. Andy, go ahead.
Yes, good evening. We have had a lovely day here with sunshine and a nice wind direction. The wind has just moved slightly from south-southeast to more like east-southeast. And so we've had to quit do swinging and go back to normal sailing. But we're making about, well, as I read it to you now, 7.1, and I will take that because it's very rare that Venture Lady gets above 7 knots on a course of 325. Over.
7.1 is a nice speed, isn't it, on a course of 325. So I've got you at around 27 and almost 171 east. So you're pretty much on target. I'm just going to have a look at who else is around there. What's the
ETA for Vila?
Yeah, David wants to know what your ETA for Vila is. Over.
Well, sometime in the next 24 hours, we're going to take a severe 90-degree turn to the left and go west of ways. And it depends on how that happens when the wind shifts, and then it'll pick up the new wind and we'll come passenger swinging back. I'm not sure how far west we're going to be, but I still think we're on target for arriving somewhere on Saturday. Over.
Okay, on Saturday, yes. Actually, I don't think us have. No, we seem to have a good SWI. I was thinking my computer seems to be going a little bit strange here too. So
should be some nice southeast winds on
Saturday. Southeast winds on Saturday, so that would be a fairly lovely way to get in. You've got a boat just ahead of you, Shantara, which you should be able to see on your starboard side, Australian boat. So I presume that they're, I don't know whether they could very well be going to New Caledonia, but anyway, they're heading, looks like at the moment, the same place you are. So, okay, well, we'll keep track of you and see what happens over the next few days, but it does look nice steady winds for you, so good sailing. Over.
Yeah, can you just say the name of that base again? Wintara or Mintaka or over?
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to get it. My computer is so sensitive. It's Shantara, Sierra Hotel Alpha November T-A-R-A, Shantara. Over.
Thank you, Shantara. We'll keep a lookout for them. We saw something on the AIS last night, but just one little flicker and then we didn't see them again. So I don't know who it was. Can I just check my email address with you, because I did not receive your email. Over.
Oh, that's interesting. I used the one that might be a bit old now. Hang on a minute, I'll tell you which one I used. Venture Lady at GMN, etc. Over.
It's a bit tricky. It's Golf Mike November _ uniform Sierra Alpha.com. Copy.
Yeah, I'll have to check. I've got that, but I may have made an error. Venture Lady at, and I've got all of that. It's exactly right. But I will resend it because I kept a copy myself. So I will resend it tonight. So you should have that, and we'll. The only thing I might not have done properly is the underscore. I might have put a hyphen. Who knows? But I will resend. Over.
Why not send it to both? Because we're having the same discussion here. Over.
Why not send it to what? Oh, to both. Okay. All right. I'll do that. Cheers.
Thank you very much.
All right. Now I have, just before I do a general call, because we've got a couple of boats missing, I have a message for Ariana. Ariana, are you on frequency? Ariana. Now these boats that have come in, just check that you are on simplex 8752 for both receive and transmit. So you need to have 8752 on your transmit, which is in a different part of the band if you've got the old icons. So 8752 on both. Now just assuming that you can hear me, Ariana, and Ariana are on their way to Hobart, and this is a message from Bob McDavitt. To avoid the low, which we all know the low coming up, head 200 degrees true. He repeats, head 200 degrees true until either the southerly winds arrive or you get to 42 south and 165 east. That's keep on that course 200 true until either the winds turn to the south or you get to 42 south and 165 east, and then you go to west, west northwest. Okay, so there you go. If you can copy me, Ariana, that's the message for you. So is there anybody else wanting to join us? Please call. Nothing heard. I am going to now go to Which Way, who are really moving. They were over 9 knots when I checked them just before, at 2316 and 17614 west, but I'll pick them up on 8297. So there we have it, folks. Sorry about the confusion here with David's computer. We'll get him sorting out things before he attempts to work with the radio frequency interference, RFI, and we will be back again tomorrow. Cheers everybody, and we are moving to 8297 in a minute.